The Colorado Buffaloes did everything in their power to try and land five-star quarterback Julian Lewis. I'm going to tell you why I think it may pay off.
You are Locked On Buffs, your daily podcast on the Colorado Buffaloes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Buffs. I am your host, Kevin Bourne. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more as playoffs wind down. The sports stop sporting like we want them to. But this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. We are also brought to you by the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day for free and available wherever you get your podcast. So thank you guys for tuning in every single day, making me part of your daily routine. I appreciate all the support and all the community that we've built. Let's talk about the biggest recruiting battle in the country at the moment, and it deals with Colorado. It deals with the quarterback. It deals with a five-star quarterback, Julian Lewis. He was in Boulder this past weekend for a trip. It was his official visit. Obviously, if you guys aren't familiar, let me give you a little bit of breakdown. He has around 40 offers. He's ranked as the 16th best player in the country, third best quarterback, fifth player in the state of Georgia. He was a part of the Elite 11 this past week. He was not obviously, but he was able to win one of the Elite 11 events. I believe he won the Pro Day event. So he's accurate. He's not known for having the biggest arm, but he has a precise arm. He is someone that Colorado badly wants because they need a plan for Shedeur. They need a plan for after Shedeur. Obviously, Shedeur Sanders is top 3 quarterback in the country at worst, probably one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best in college football. But this is his final year of college football. He is going to go to the NFL. He is going to be taken probably with a top 5 pick, probably at worst a top 10 pick. And if you're Colorado, one, you want to get the most out of him, obviously, but you also need a plan to replace him. And obviously, we don't want to think about life after Shedeur Sanders already, but it's necessary because you never know what's going to happen. Like, obviously, does Ryan Staub stick around? Does he win the job? Is one of the transfers, Walter Taylor or the Wade twin, are they going to step up and win the job? Or is Colorado going to have to go back into the transfer portal, take a shot on, say, a former 5-star recruit who didn't pan out somewhere? Or is there going to be a guy like maybe like a Will Howard who leaves a program as a starter and wants to start on another program, something like that? Are they going to have to do that? Or are they going to give the keys to a youngster like Julian Lewis? And so everything that I've gathered from the visit went as well as it could have. I think the Colorado community, while a lot of people were I think a lot of people wanted to hate on Colorado for the efforts that they put in. Obviously, we know that's just how it is. Realistically, people want to hate on every program. This is how it is in college football, and it's kind of funny. Every time a program puts in extra effort, it's cringy. But that program or the person who's making fun of that program, they would probably do the same exact thing. Georgia was chanting for Arch Manning when they were still trying to get him before Texas landed him. Obviously, it's different because it's Georgia. But yeah, they had Arch Manning signs or Arch Manning painted on people's chests and stuff at the game, and it wasn't cringy. But when Colorado does it, it's cringy. So I know a lot of people are upset about, oh, people are calling us cringy, whatever. People are calling Colorado cringy. I promise you, every fan base thinks what another fan base does is cringy until they do it themselves. It really doesn't matter. Whatever helps your program show a recruit that, hey, we care about you. We'd love to have you. So come on over, come on down. We'd love to have you suiting up in the black and gold. So realistically, who cares? Also, you have to give a shout out to Laura Levy. She is someone who owns a restaurant in Colorado. If you guys weren't familiar with this restaurant, I would recommend you guys go give a look because she had a awesome sort of promo for Colorado and Julian Lewis, where she named a burger after him. So she posted to her X account, formerly known as Twitter, and said, "I'm just trying to do my part. My role is pretty tiny compared to the role of the recruiting efforts, but I think it's the only part that I have control over, so I try to do my best." So her restaurant, The Sink, was looking to put in some efforts in landing Julian Lewis. And obviously, if you guys aren't familiar, she named a burger after him, which is a really cool sort of like, I know a lot of people were weird about it because obviously people always are worried about what other people are doing, but she named a burger after Julian Lewis. And so it was literally called the Julian Lewis Juju's Precision Pass Burger. And so their their social media account tweeted or wrote the other day on X, in honor of quarterback Julian Lewis's visit, we've crafted Juju's Precision Pass Burger. This double patty cheeseburger with shredded lettuce, red onion, bacon, and A1 aioli is a game changer. Stop by the sink to celebrate. And then hashtag we want Juju, hashtag go Buffs, and she tagged Julian Lewis and Deion Sanders. And so I think Colorado went all out. I think realistically they did everything they could, from what I'm told from people around the program, people around the industry. Colorado did everything they needed to do. Now it's up to Julian Lewis. He said he wants to shut his recruitment down by the time the season rolls around. So his decision is going to be coming up pretty quickly because obviously I would say the high school football season starts when school starts, so around late August, early September would be my guess. And so I think Colorado, you have to be thrilled with what you did. You have to be thrilled with the efforts you made. That doesn't mean they're going to stop putting in these efforts, but you have to love where you're at. Josh Newberg of On Three comes on the show every once in a while. He talked about where Julian Lewis's recruitment stands. And he says there's three schools in the race. It's USC, it's Auburn, it's Colorado. He said USC, who is committed to at the moment, is probably in the 3 spot. So Colorado and Auburn both did enough. And it's not going to come down to NIL because obviously, if you guys aren't familiar with Colorado's NIL program, it has improved dramatically. And even Josh said it himself. Colorado's NIL is on par with Auburn. So it basically comes down to, where does Julian see himself playing college football? Does he want to play in the SEC? Does he want to remain in the South? Obviously, he's from Georgia, or is in Georgia right now. So it comes down to, like, where does he envision himself? Where does he sort of see his future college football taking off? Does he want to play for Hugh Freeze? Does he want to play for Pat Shermer? Comes down to stuff like that. But there was one picture now, and I know it obviously does not affect him at all, but it shows Shedeur Sanders cares about the program, cares about his father's program, and cares about who's replacing him. Julian Lewis posted on social media the quote "perfect timing," which is the name of Shedeur's song, and the picture was Shedeur handing Julian Lewis, who was in Colorado gear, sitting on the Colorado throne, the keys to the proverbial program, and the proverbial keys to the program. So it's like Shedeur is passing the baton to Julian Lewis. And I thought that picture was really awesome because it's symbolism. We love symbolism. We love metaphors. And it's like, okay, he is passing the Colorado program to Julian. If Julian wants to accept it, he has the key to the program. He will be the Colorado quarterback once Shedeur leaves. And so if you're Colorado, I think you have to be really confident in how the visit went. Now you just have to keep pushing. They have to sort of let Julian figure things out because he went to Indiana. He went to USC a couple weeks ago. Auburn this past weekend on the 14th, or the past weekend. Yeah, I think it was last week, like 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago. Sorry, I'm trying to do calendar math in my head. It's not going well. But he saw Auburn on June 14th, and then Colorado was the final visit. So if you're Colorado, you love the effort that everyone made, the fans, the staff, everyone included. You love sort of having that last visit because you're fresh on his mind. And now it just comes down to Julian Lewis. Does he see a future here in Colorado? Does he see a future of what Coach Prime's doing? And we all know, can't count Coach Prime out. So even if he flips to Auburn or stays with USC, until he puts pen to paper that he is going to whatever school, Colorado's in the mix. Deion Sanders helped flip Cormani McClain when he was supposed to go to Miami or Florida. He flipped Travis Hunter from Florida State at the very last second. So until that pen is put to paper, Jordan Seaton had major programs coming after him. Ohio State was after him. Florida was after him. Maryland, his home state program, was after him. Until pen is put to paper, you cannot count out Coach Prime. And I think if you're Colorado, you have to be a lot more confident now than maybe a couple weeks ago. So Julian Lewis to Colorado, I think it's a real possibility. Obviously, it depends on what Julian, wherever he's confident in. If he's confident in the program, sure. If he wants to see what the program does this season, makes sense. But if you're a Colorado fan, you got to love what the Buffs did this past weekend. So I applaud everyone that was out there. I applaud Laura Levy and her restaurant and all the support that they offered in every way possible. When we come back, we're going to be talking about someone who did commit following the official visit weekend this past weekend. This episode of Locked on Buffs is brought to you by our sponsors over at FanDuel. I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer and fewer games, and the sports aren't sporting like we want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up any bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head over to fanduel.com/lockedon and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel is official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Welcome back to Locked On Buffs. I appreciate you guys for tuning in every single day, making me your first listen of the day. Free and available wherever you get your podcast. So make sure to like, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. I appreciate all the support. Obviously, the headliner of this past weekend was Julian Lewis. Everyone is invested in where's he going to end up. Did Colorado do enough? And I think they did enough. It's honestly just up to Julian Lewis at this point and the continued efforts of Colorado and the other programs who prevails. But Colorado did add a much needed commitment to their class over the weekend and comes via Nashville, Tennessee. His name is Chauncey Gooden from Lipscomb Academy. He's a 4-star offensive lineman, currently the highest ranked recruit in Colorado's class. They're only 4-star at the moment, according to 24/7 Sports' recruiting rankings. Ranks as 185th player in the country, 10th best player in the state of Tennessee. 10th best interior offensive lineman, 3rd best player in the state of Tennessee. Who did Colorado beat out for him? Well, this is why I said Deion Sanders needs to value high school recruiting more, because it would be easy for him. And I'm not saying this to diminish high school recruiting by any means. I'm not saying it's easy. It would be pretty easy for Coach Prime. And let me elaborate. Sorry, I had to get some water in there. Colorado obviously is kind of like the hot commodity program. It's like, okay, you have one of the most popular coaches in college football. You have one of the best quarterbacks in college football. You have one of the best players in college football, and Travis Hunter. And you have arguably the biggest brand in college football right now. Why would anyone not want to go there as a high school recruit? High school recruits are flooding to places where, one, they could play college football, two, where they could play for big brands, and three, where they could earn NIL money. Colorado, you could do all those things because Deion Sanders is there. But he values the transfer portal more than high school recruiting, or at least he has. So I've always said the moment he starts to sort of emphasize high school recruiting, the moment it is a wrap for everyone else in the country, because he will start beating out your favorite program for any recruit, any state, doesn't matter. So let me tell you who he beat out for Chauncey. Mind you, Chauncey, according to 24/7 Sports, had 50 scholarship offers, 5-0. 5-0. Scholarship offer for every state, if you will. He beat out. Coach Prime in Colorado beat out Clemson, who had a expert prediction to land him. Like, Clemson was the favorite until Colorado got into the picture. And it was Steve Wiltfong who projected him to end up at Clemson before making the switch to On3. And when Steve Wiltfong makes a projection, it usually came true. So a little bit about Chauncey. He is 6'4", 320 pounds. So he's already ready to play, or at least has the size to play. He obviously is someone who Colorado needs, because they need an offensive line that can continue to improve. If you're Colorado, you're looking at this offensive line right now that you have, and you go, okay, Jordan Seaton, future of the offensive line, cornerstone at left tackle. Left guard, it's probably Tyler Johnson, right? And he's done after the year. So there's a spot open. Center, Hank Zelinkas, he's going to be back, and I imagine, excuse me, Hank Zelinkas is someone who improved a lot from year one to clearly year two, to where he's fending off all these transfers. Then you have right guard, Justin Mayers, or Tyler Johnson. You could flip-flop him, doesn't matter. Is he going to be around? Does he declare for the NFL after a strong year? Who knows? Could be an open spot. And then obviously right tackle, Khalil Benson, he could be gone. So if you're Colorado, you could be replacing your whole entire offensive line again next season, or most of your offensive line. I imagine both Cena and Hank will be back, and maybe someone else returns as well. So you could at most have 3 guys back. But that means you're going to have to get more talent. And so for Colorado to get a win like this over a program like Clemson, because, and not just Clemson, here's who offered him. And it's just a long list of like very notable programs. It's Clemson, it's Florida State, it's Georgia, Jackson State, obviously, one of the better FCS programs. Kentucky, Miami, Michigan, North Carolina, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Oregon. Every program in the country that is a program that is worth going to offered this guy. So if you're Colorado, you have to feel very confident. And maybe this is the recruit that gets them going. Because obviously, Colorado's class, they had 3 commitments up to this point. They have 4 commitments now. They have Alex Graham from IMG Academy, the 3-star corner. They have Montrez Walker, the linebacker, 3-star out of Buford, Georgia. And then they have another Tennessean in Corbin Lazier, 3-star tight end. So it's like, okay, when's the ball going to get rolling? When are we going to start seeing these guys flood to Boulder? When are we going to start seeing these guys sort of make their way to Colorado? And I think this could just be the first domino of many for Colorado and Coach Prime. So huge recruiting weekend. You make a lot of progress with Julian Lewis. You land an offensive lineman of the future to help shore up that unit to make sure it doesn't have any more flaws like it did last year. And if you're Colorado, you just want to build off this momentum. You want to continue to find success on the recruiting trail. You want to target players from all over. And Coach Prime seems to be doing just that. And now the coaches on social media are getting in on the fun and kind of talking it, like making fun of the people that said they don't recruit the high school level. So it's going to get real interesting. And I'm excited to keep you guys covered every step of the way. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Coach Prime's future in Boulder. Passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers. Welcome back to Locked On Buffs. I appreciate you guys for tuning in every single day, making me your first listen of the day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast. By the way, guys, I got this really cool thing to tell you about over on Locked On that we're doing. Are you watching Fox Sports or ESPN on your TV all day and you have to turn down the volume with all the shouting? Make the switch to Locked On Sports Today, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel program for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't miss analysis, opinions, and news streamed 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day. Okay, let's talk about Deion Sanders, Colorado football. What is his plan? As you guys know, or maybe if you saw, Deion Sanders did a great interview with Joel Klatt from Fox Sports, FS1, all that. And the one question that every single interviewer asks him, and I know why they ask him, because one, it's going to generate clicks for all the articles. And two, everyone wants to know, everyone is kind of planning for life after Colorado for Coach Prime. The question in question right now is, what is he going to do after his sons and Travis Hunter leave? The notion or sort of the thought is like, okay, Deion Sanders had his fun. He coached at Jackson State, coached his sons, went to Colorado, coached his sons again, and then he's going to be done. He's going to ride off into the sunset, maybe pursue the NFL, or maybe hop back into the media world and sort of just give up on coaching because he got to coach his sons. He got to get them to the next level. And unless he's lying blatantly to everyone's face, which I don't see any reason why he'd do that, because there's really no reason to. He was asked again, what are his future plans? And so he said, and I quote, and I think he said this before, but this is Coach Prime talking. Quote, "I'm a leader of men, not a follower of men. I'm a father, not a baby daddy. I lead my sons. I don't follow my sons. My sons, Travis included," so obviously he sees Travis as like a son-like figure, "are getting ready to migrate to the NFL. I'm not following them to the NFL. I plan on being here and being dominant here." So if you're a Colorado fan, you have to love that, because everyone so badly wants to sort of, I don't know, they want to sort of tear down this Colorado program in the sense that, like, it's like, okay, you had your fun. It was cute while it lasted. Now it's back to reality of being a bottom dweller in college football. And while everyone in college football who's not a Colorado fan thinks that way, Coach Prime has made it abundantly clear that he plans to be here. Now, are there jobs out there where it's like, if they open, I think maybe there would be a compelling case? Yeah. One of them already opened. It was Texas A&M. Don't know if they even contacted him. Don't think they did. They probably talked about it a little bit because why not? But they obviously went with Mike Elko. That was a job that I thought he'd be interested in. TCU is another job, or TCU or SMU, both schools in Dallas. SMU is thriving. TCU, they had a really strong season 2 years ago now, and it's not an upgrade over Colorado. It's just not. So it's really not. TCU is not that an upgrade over Colorado. Honestly, Colorado could be a better job anyway, just because of the brand value. TCU at its peak will probably never be the most popular school in the state of Texas. You're fighting for third place essentially behind Texas and Texas A&M. Then Florida State, they made the playoff. Had Mike Norvell been fired, like had he had another bad year, maybe. So, but he's currently on an extension. He did everything that they needed him to. So Mike Norvell's not going anywhere. So then it's like Florida. Billy Napier's probably going to get fired. But does Coach Prime care about rivalries? Does he want to return to the state of Florida? I don't know. That's the one job where I'm like, that'd be interesting. If that job opens, does Coach Prime go that way? But he has shown that he wants to stay at Colorado, or at least he said so, which granted, no coach is going to be like, yeah, I'm going to stay here until I get a better job offer. Every coach plans to stay at their job until they get a better offer. So Colorado just keeps needing to, one, obviously Coach Prime needs to win games for this to happen, but they need to make sure that he's happy with everything. His pay, resources, support, everything. Everything that Coach Prime wants, Colorado needs to give him. So that way there is no way that another program could come in and be like, hey, we can offer you everything you need and more. Come on down. But it's really good if you're a Colorado fan to see him sort of offer this, I guess, vote of confidence in the program and sort of vote in himself staying. And he's never shied away from saying that he doesn't want to go to the NFL. So obviously that's a notion that keeps needing to be shut down. But Coach Prime staying in Boulder for the foreseeable future. Now, how long is he going to coach? I'm not going to pretend to guess or know that, but I would be shocked if he leaves Boulder. I appreciate all you guys tuning in every single day, making me your first listen of the day. This has been another great episode of Locked On Buffs. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. I will also be on Locked On Auburn this week as we talk about not the rivalry, but the recruitment of Julian Lewis. So it'll be real fun to join Zach over there. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, give me 5 stars on wherever you get your podcast. Make sure to share this, subscribe, whatever it may be. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow.